I wish we would have caught that, what you just did.
That yawn?
That good yawn.
Yeah, if y'all hear me yawn on this episode, it's late where we recording right now, so excuse me. I apologize. I'm giving it the best that I damn got, okay?
Yes, we both worked today. We
Yes.
both put in some good effort, energy.
Yes.
Hard work.
They're still trying to make sure that you have this episode available for tomorrow.
On YouTube and Apple Podcasts and everywhere.
Exactly.
So.
If you want to start a podcast, these are things you should think about. Are you going to want to get up late to shoot a podcast episode because you want to drop every week?
Yes. And also, we literally tried to, we thought of an idea of trying to shoot outside. Well, we didn't think of that. I had thought of that. And that didn't end too well. So just gotta, I like to play around with the different kind of scenery and see, you know.
Yeah. We are working on having our own studio space.
Yes.
So that will be coming soon, where you will see us in the same space shooting very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But as for now, we are hopping around locations, and it is what it is. But that's just something to consider if you're thinking about starting a podcast. Also, you do not get paid a lot of money, if any, when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
A lot of podcasters don't see money for years. So it's just fine if you actually enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
But if you think you're about to start doing it just to get a check, this is not for you. And
Well,
that's
some
not
people
a bad
might.
thing.
Some people might be able to flip
I mean, if you already have a large following already, absolutely. But if you have moderate followings like we do, it takes a little bit more. But it is what it is. We did not introduce ourselves. We did not do that. We didn't do that last week either. So, if this is your first time listening, welcome to the Message 24 podcast. We are so glad to have you here. And if this is not your first time and you are a repeat listener, we appreciate you. We do this for you.
Yes.
And the voice that you are hearing right now is, I don't forget my name, Lakhia.
Oh, good heavens.
I am me. I am me. I'm Lakhia.
And I'm the second half of this podcast, and my name is James, and I was so excited for this episode, and I don't know why, like, just the fact of all that we did to get to this episode.
It's a lot.
I'm still excited for it. So.
Yeah, I think this is a super light episode, and it's not a deep thinker like last week's episode, Big Ego. That was a very thought-provoking episode.
Yeah.
And not to say that this one isn't, but it's just a little more lighthearted than the previous episode. So this week, our In the DM is living with your significant other.
We're gonna live together.
Yes. So we'll kind of be talking about, things that we've heard about living with your partner that might have scared us a little bit. Any challenges we've experienced so far and how we've navigated through them. So I think you can start.
All right, you didn't drop the ball. So one thing that I've kind of heard when it comes to staying with your significant other is that you may get irritated with your partner the more time that you're around them and with them.
I can see that.
Super scary, because I'm like, I love you, I enjoy being in your space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost like you're in that lovey-dovey stage.
Yeah.
So that definitely scares me, and it kind of brings me back to what we had in another episode. It was talking about the honeymoon stage, and then what was that next stage?
The power struggle stage.
The power struggle stage, where you're seeing that person and you may be getting irritated with that person, and you may also be finding things that you don't necessarily, that just things that your partner does that bothers you. So at first you see everything that you love about them, and then the second phase is you see stuff that irritates you. So just being aware, I guess, of the things they still do that does not irritate you, still highlight those moments. So that was something that that I've been told and that I see and that I hear. So that kind of scares me.
Well, I think, excuse me, I hope y'all did not hear that. I think for us, we've kind of experienced that already, the getting irritated thing. This is before, so like
what I'm pondering, I'm like,
what we're, so we're about to move in together, but I have already been living with him for the past 2 or 3 months. But we're about to now move into our own space together. So we've kind of been doing like a trial.
Let us know if that's long enough to know if you get irritated with somebody. Because somebody may say, oh, they ain't been together but 3 months. That been long enough to...
I mean, they very well could say that. But we also have been up each other's ass for 2 years. Because I remember around the time we were... I think it was like 6 months in or something like that. I had been at your place for like 2 weeks. And you were just kind of like... You know, you were like, I just need my own space and this, and I was like super fucking offended.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yes, so we have kind of already experienced that irritation sort of thing.
I don't know. You weren't doing anything.
You just weren't used to somebody being in your space.
Yeah, Yeah, I definitely wasn't used to it. And I definitely let you know, like, hey, baby, like, give me a second.
I was like, what the hell do you mean? But, you know what I'm saying? I had to think about it. I love my own space. And when I got back to my own apartment, I was like, oh, I missed my apartment so much. And then I was gone for a day and you like, okay, can you come back now? And I'm like, no, I'm finna chill in my shit because you just said you needed some space. Now I realize I need some space.
Next day, I'm on your ass.
Huh?
You said next day, I'm on your ass.
No, you was like, can you come back? I said, no. I didn't come back for a couple days.
I didn't want to offend you.
Well, I was offended, but now that I know, we are both human beings and we both need time apart from each other. We were up each other's. We went on our first date and we was up each other's ass after that. Like that was it. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? That was to be expected. And I'm glad that it happened when it happened because it also gave me the space and the comfortability for me to then say, I need space, or, I didn't feel bad about asking you that I needed some time to myself.
Yeah, it gave like open communication.
It did. It definitely opened the communication up early on. And that's another one of the reasons why we both mutually agree that we do not want a 1-bedroom apartment. We only want to stay in a 2-bedroom apartment. Even knowing that we're going to sleep in 1 bedroom together, but still, having a separate bathroom space, because I have a lot of shit, he has a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, separate closet space. That just gives you more room and you're not so constantly on top of each other. Like, everything doesn't have to be a we thing.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no.
It doesn't have to all constantly be a we thing.
We need to be doing this. We need to do this.
Yeah, I think that leads to irritation. It's like if we sleeping in the same room, sharing the same closet space, bathroom space, we in the kitchen together, it's just a lot. God damn.
I think it's because people have their preferences, and I think that sometimes clashes. Like everything that you love, I'm not gonna necessarily love.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the kind of irritation comes from. Because if me and you are going running, let's say, and I can run 3 miles, and you can only run 1 mile, and I'm like, we need to do this together, but you're like, I want to stop now, so that can cause irritation just because our preferences are different.
Yeah.
Like we want to be doing the same things, we want to be kind of pushing each other, but at the same time, you have your differences too.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I am also a super neat freak, damn near to the level of, I'm not going to diagnose my shit with nothing, but I'm very particular with how I want and I need things. You are clean as well, but there are certain things that you do that drive me up a fucking wall. And because we started that open communication with each other, I don't have an issue saying, well, baby, could you, this bothers me. Could you please do this? Could you please do that? And I even think you're kind of picky about how like you like stuff in your bathroom. I'm picky about how I like stuff in my bathroom. And I think we would get on each other's nerves if you want something here, but I want it here. We just keep moving it.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not. Well, you may be like that, but I'm not. I
no,
feel like in that
you
area.
With that basket where your stuff is at, you kill me. You.
How I place it?
Yes. Why do you do that?
Does that bother you?
Yes, that's why I fix it every time. And then you go back and move it, and I'm like, please.
So you move it. Which side? Oh, you move it
like
in the corner.
It angled.
Yeah, I like it angled.
No, why would you do that? And that's what I'm
wondering. I be thinking that shit just be jumping up.
No, I am moving it.
Oh, we gonna end the show early, y'all.
Because
we got some shit to do.
I prefer to have it pushed up against the thing, and this is what I mean. When we move into our new space,
that's gonna be in the corner.
In your bathroom. In your bathroom, not in my shit, and that's okay.
I forgot we do have 2 bathrooms.
We have 2 bathrooms. This is why I'm saying it would be a constant. Because he didn't even know I was moving it. I move it every day. Literally every single day.
You literally move it every day?
Yes. And if you have something that goes in that basket, outside of that basket, I put it in the basket.
Why? Because I wish y'all could see what we're talking about. Because the shit is angled very nicely.
No.
So it gives the counters a nice, it's very flush.
You taking up too much counter space. Just push it up against the wall.
No, I'm not taking up too much counter space.
You be moving that damn soap thing around. It's too much. I can't take it.
It's like an architect.
And I'm not interested. I like things to
it takes the design of the bathroom up a notch.
We agree to disagree. This is why I'm saying we need everything does not have to be a we type of situation because he likes things a certain way.
We like certain things.
You can't stand for hair to be in the bathroom. I do my hair a lot. There might be hair in my bathroom. I will sweep it up, of course, because I'm very clean. But he cannot stand that hair shit.
Well, keep in mind, I only have really, I live with my mom. But that's just not something, she would have curls every little where, but I guess that's not something that I had to deal with throughout college. Because I roomed with all boys and we all had our separate space. So I just wasn't used to long curly hair, being on the floor. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's how long the hair is. Not saying I don't want you to cut your hair.
Because you definitely be having hair, but
mine is the
fine little
and
hair.
I don't really like those either, but it's not as bad to me.
It drives you up. And you're talking, I can only imagine what your mama had to look in that bathroom. What y'all was doing, it probably was driving her up a wall. Because I saw this thing where this lady said she had all boys, and her boys were gone for the weekend, and she was cleaning up their bathroom. And she fucking put bleach around their toilet to clean it, and she accidentally made mustard gas because these niggas had been missing the toilet and pissing on the floor, and that piss had sat and turned into ammonia. So when she put bleach on it, she made mustard gas and almost killed her damn self. So I can only imagine. I ain't saying y'all might have missed the toilet.
I was doing some crazy shit. I think, what did I do? It was in my room though. So I had this little area, and I don't know if, I'm not saying our walls, like you could just push through them, but I think they were kind of light. So I would dig in my nose and grab a good booger and just stick it on the wall.
That's
and I think
disgusting.
I did a few of them to where it kind of made a little dent in the wall. So yeah, we was doing some crazy shit.
I'm not gonna say the crazy shit that I've done, but my close people know. I straight my mama out with that, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna disclose that on the podcast. But they know.
Trying to go viral.
No, I ain't going, not for that shit. Listen, I actually don't want to go viral. I really don't. So that's one of the things that there's something else I've also heard about living with your partner. There's a couple of things I've heard. So one is just kind of like a thing that old people say, like, you don't need to be shacking up with nobody. If you're living with somebody, you need to be married. Because
that's a big one.
why give somebody the milk for free? They're not gonna want to buy the cow.
You sounding, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Oh, that's what they say, like, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? So it's like, why would somebody want to marry you if you already living in the house and you doing every damn thing like a wife? Well, shit, why go spend money on a ring? Why spend money on a wedding if you can already get all the things for free? So that's something I've heard, but I see both sides of that, because you could get very comfortable in the situation that you're at, and it's kind of like, okay, well, why do something else if this already works? Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Then the next thing I was gonna say is, but I also do think it's important to live with your partner, because, like we were saying before, you could really like somebody and then live with this person. It's like, oh my God, this is too much for me. But if you don't live with somebody before you get married, then you get married and y'all done bought a house together and y'all stuck, and now you realize, I don't really think I can live with this person. So I see both sides of it ultimately. But that is one of the things I've heard a lot, that is shacking up.
Yeah, shacking up is, I feel like that was an error. I don't know what error it was. I feel like it was before our time.
Oh, it was. It definitely was.
But yeah, I feel like you definitely need to live with that partner, mm-hmm. see what they do, and granted, you may end up like after a month or 2 months saying, okay, I can't deal with this. Do you think that, I think that can be fixed though?
Definitely back with communication.
Like it has to be, yes, it gotta be a lot of communication. Yeah. And a lot of compromise probably too.
Definitely. And we're going to talk about some tips for living with your partner, but I think that's the biggest thing. I don't even think it's that hard. It's as simple as saying, hey, this bothers me. This mm-hmm. is why. Could you try to do something different?
But I can see how that would bother somebody too, because I've found that I don't handle constructive criticism well. And it sucks that I don't, and I'm working on it, but mm-hmm. I really don't handle that well. So that I can see how that can cause a lot of frustration within yourself and with your partner during those times where y'all are trying to figure it out.
But that goes back to what Shaman was saying. 90% of it is you, 10% is your partner. So mm-hmm. if your partner is telling you something that is bothering them, they're saying why, and they're offering you solutions, and you're upset, why are you actually upset? Mm-hmm. Because if you know they're coming from a good place, you know they're coming from a place of love, and ultimately they are just trying to make both experiences better, why does that upset you? Right. So I think that's something I have to think about a lot. Okay, this is actually probably my shit, not, it has nothing to do with you. So I think that's a big part of it. And then God, go ahead. I'm gonna say my little last thing I've heard.
This doesn't count, I feel like, as issues living with somebody.
Okay.
It kind of doesn't. It's like the fear of that person changing over time. So some of the habits that they have now, mm-hmm. which that's why I said it's kind of marriage.
Do you have that fear with me?
I'll be honest, yes, but
okay,
not in a bad way. Like, I fear myself changing too. Like, it's not one of those things where I'm like, oh, you're gonna change and you're not gonna be the same person that you are now. But I fear that I will change some too. But I don't think it'll be in a bad way necessarily.
I hope we change.
Yes, we should be changing.
We should be changing, yeah. And change is scary and change is uncomfortable right. as hell. But I think as we grow in our relationship, what we need from each other might look different, because it looks different now. What we needed when we first started dating,
it looks totally different.
That's what I'm saying. So,
which is crazy. We really adapted to this shit.
No, that's what I'm saying, and that's what we will do as our relationship grows and move. And like, that's why I'm glad that we're building this strong foundation now. Like, we have these things in place now, so when something comes up and something changes, we know how to navigate through that. That doesn't, I mean, it makes it a little less scary, honestly. But I think the biggest thing is knowing it's gonna happen. Like, when people start dating at 17 years old and then they're 50. They're different people than they were with. I hope that they're different people than they were.
A little older.
Yeah, but I think as long as that love is still there, that respect.
It's some foundational things that shouldn't change.
No, that's the thing. If that foundation shifts, then you might have a problem.
Yeah.
If y'all cannot agree that this love is what y'all want and y'all are going to value each other, respect each other, you guys are going to be able to be adaptable, then you might have an issue.
Another one, sorry to cut you.
Okay.
Another one was, and this isn't something I'm afraid of, but it was just something that I was reading in an article. It said, like, your long-term goals may be different. So I'm thinking from more of a career job standpoint when you start living with somebody, and then they're like, let's say they get a job opportunity or whatever to go to another city, and they just want to up and move, and they want you to come with them. Like, some people aren't able to operate like that. So, or your long-term goals just may look a little bit different from the other person, which is something I think that needs to be discussed.
That's what I was about to say. I think that's a foundational thing, and that's a conversation that you and I have had. We are like, okay, what does this look like? Would you be willing to move if I needed to move? And we've talked about those things, which that's something you need to talk about early on in a relationship, I think, especially if this is someone you see yourself building a life with. I think those are things that need to be discussed because it prevents issues later on down the line. I think that's a really, 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 really good point, actually. And then something else I have heard.
I know what this ought to be, I think.
When people live together is, and it's not even what I've heard. I have observed this as well. So a lot of people, I'm going to just say people. I'm not going to say men. I'm not going to say women. A lot of people cheat the most when they live with their significant other.
Oh, shit.
I
didn't understand.
What did you think I was going to say?
It don't matter now. I need you to explain.
That is something I have heard. Excuse me. And it is something I have observed as well. And I have a theory on why that could be the case. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it right.
Have you seen? Do you know people?
Yes.
Like this?
Yeah, I've observed it. Yes. A lot of people that live with their significant other cheat the fucking most. And will do it in the same home that they share with.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of disrespect. But these are the two theories the two going theories I have for this. Number one, this is something I talked about with my homegirls the other day too. Okay. When you live with somebody, it's really easy to get comfortable with them, right? So when we first started dating, I always had like cute matching pajama sets and stuff like that. And now I go to sleep in a muumuu and a bonnet. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to go.
The muumuu is better than the matching pajamas.
You like the muumuu better? Okay, well.
So she taking it up a notch.
Oh, excuse me. I thought I was being cute and wearing little cute stuff to bed. I used to do that all the time.
No, forget all that. I want the muumuu.
Oh, well. I don't wear the muumuu. That's what the grannies was wearing. They was getting the bills paid. So, doing things like that. And then you can just get comfortable. And then it's like, when you first start dating someone, you always want to look good. And then when you get comfortable with them, you kind of forget, like, okay, I should probably look like something so this person knows that I still look good. But you can get really comfortable and forget to do that shit. So that's one of my going theories with that. People get super comfortable in a relationship, they kind of let themselves go. It's like, oh, I got you now. What I need to, do all this.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah. These are not my thoughts. These are just things I'm thinking. Well, this is my thought because it's a theory.
It's a theory.
It's the theory that I have. Number two, I think that people stop having sex when they live together. I think,
why do you think that?
Initially, this is the going theory I have. Okay? This is the going theory I have. I think when you first start living with somebody, you have sex all the time because you were in such close proximity with that person. You just gonna be fucking a lot, okay? Just a whole lot. But I think when you start living with somebody, you get super comfortable and you start substituting other intimate things instead of having sex. And it is good to have intimate.
Run that back.
Okay.
That went right over my head.
Oh God, baby, buckle up. Okay. So I think that, like I said, when you live with somebody, when you first start, you have a lot of sex, right? Again, this is just a theory. But I think people start, and you know what? I know where I got this from. I read this shit because that's why it's one of the tips. I'm not crazy. People will start substituting other intimate things for having sex, which now you should do things that are intimate with your partner that don't include sex. So every time, you touch your partner, they don't automatically assume, like, oh, they just want to have sex with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes when people live together, they get super comfortable that they substitute intimate things like making dinner together or watching a movie together or, drinking wine together or, what I'm saying, just little massaging each other, face masks, all of that stuff, which is good. You should do those intimate things. Yeah. But people start swapping that for sex. Like, they will just do more of that and have less sex. So I think that the combination of people getting comfortable letting themselves go and swapping intimate things out for sex makes some people want to go seek somebody else that's going to look good and that they can fuck. That's just the going theory that I have. I have a potty mouth. Oh my God. I curse so much. I just thought about this. But that is the going theory that I have.
That's an interesting theory.
That's just, you know what I'm saying?
I can definitely see that. I feel like that can even go for if you've been having a lot of sex, yada, 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 then you have a kid. It's like the relationship changes and then sometimes it's not what it used to be. So then one of the people, they end up seeking what they once had.
Yeah. Instead of communicating to your partner, hey, I miss when you would wear this. I miss when you would do this. I like it when you do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just say that. But
that's hard.
I mean, is it though?
Confronting.
Let me not say that.
Expressing your feelings for some people is tough.
Yes.
And then expressing your feelings and making sure it comes out the right way so that your partner is able to digest it the right way. I think it's tough.
That's why I had to catch myself. It can be difficult. Just because we're at a place where we're a little more open now doesn't mean that there wasn't a time when it was difficult. So I do not mean that it's not hard because it is hard at first to do that. I think it's even, it can be a little difficult now, but I think we both know that we're coming from a good place and we're coming from a place of love. So there's nothing we're going to say to each other that is going to try to harm the other person ultimately. So were there any other misconceptions that you came across?
You just touched on kind of the falling out of love. One, irritated, and then I think we good.
All right, so we're gonna slide up out of this in the DM section, but we're gonna leave with these tips that we came across for living with your partner. These are not all inclusive, just a few little things that could make that transition a little easier. So number one, be open about your finances. Do not lie and say you can afford to pay this, but you really can't afford to pay that. That's gonna cause an issue. And I feel like a lot of relationships end because of finances, especially marriages. A lot of marriages fall apart because of finances. So
that's an argument waiting to happen.
Yes.
Especially if you haven't discussed it.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then we were saying before, be proactive about sex. And intimacy. Yes. Be very intentional about both of those things. Don't let the only time you rub your partner is when you want to have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't say, let's do this because you want it to lead into sex. So be proactive about those things. I'm not saying you got to pencil sex into your calendar. If you have a kid, you might. But for young adults, whatever, just be proactive about sex. Make time for date night. I think it's easy to get caught up being in the house together a lot and not making time for date night. I know we talked about the 2-2-2 rule on one of our episodes before. Every 2 weeks you do a date night. Every 2 months you go out of town. Every 2 years you go on an extended vacation. So just making sure you're being proactive about those type of things. Share cleaning duties.
Yes. Make sure you share them duties. Don't just... One person shouldn't be cleaning and washing and doing dishes. And
if both people in that house work and both people pay bills, both for us. Let me not speak for other
However people run their home.
It's how they run it. But for me in my house, we sharing the cleaning duties. And it works for us because there are certain things I like to do that he doesn't like to do. I like to cook. He doesn't like to cook. I don't like to wash dishes. He don't mind washing dishes.
Sharing the load is
important.
important.
Yes, because I think you will grow to resent somebody if you're doing everything in the house.
Yeah.
So
and then they may see somebody else. They may resent their partner, but then they may begin to resent and be jealous of other relationships that they see are going well because the qualities that they want in their own relationship, they can't get it, and they see other relationships that have those qualities. Yeah,
I completely agree. And then the last thing is be willing to compromise. Talked about that. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of compromise. It's going to be a lot of give and take. Yeah. Just be prepared for that up front. And as I'm saying that to you all, I'm also saying that to myself. Because I like to be right all the damn time.
And I don't have to be right.
And I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
I just use my laws on you.
Don't start with that law shit, okay?
Well, you have your theories, I got mine.
Get out of here. All right, get on my nerves. All right, so now we're moving into our send or delete portion of this episode. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the situation. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it on social media, may or may not. But there's basically this guy, right? And he was making a post about his fiance. And I'm not going to read the whole post, right? I'm going to just give y'all a couple sentences so you can understand. He started out by saying, "You're not the most beautiful woman. Neither are you the most intelligent woman. But I've chosen to never find perfection in anyone. I put my gaze on you, and with that commitment, we would mold ourselves for ourselves. Our perfection is in our commitment." Stating that you're not the most beautiful or intelligent might sound like it's not a compliment, yeah, but it's a realistic basis for love. Acknowledging that my woman isn't the best, but I'm not looking for the best. I wasn't looking for you, but I found you, right? I'm going to stop there. That's just the basis of what this man said on Beyonce's internet about his fiance. Okay. How would you feel if I went on the internet and said that about you? If I said, "You're not the most handsome man, you ain't the most intelligent, but basically you what I got and what I'm stuck with." Because that's what I got from that.
First and foremost, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Not all the way. So I don't see where he told his truth. He literally told his truth. And in this certain scenario, did he need to state that? No. He definitely didn't need to state that out of all the things that he could have said about his partner. But do we have to be realistic? We may not need to be in those moments, but he was just being realistic. And if you were to say that I'm not the most handsome individual. I know that. So it's not like.
But you are to me.
You don't, and that's where I think again, you don't have to. I don't know if that's how. That doesn't have to be the truth. Like, it's one of those unspoken things. Like, I don't know. Like, some people just. You saying that I don't look the best does not alarm me.
You would want me to say that on the internet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For this certain situation, no. Some truths just don't need to be stated.
Well, I would hope that you would not feel like or go on the internet and say that I am not the most beautiful woman in the world.
Right. That's just something you don't do.
Why would you do that? Yeah. That I feel like that's so embarrassing to say that to her. To say
out
that
of all things you could
say. And she is a very beautiful woman. And he, on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? I just think that was out of all of the things you could have said about the person that you love and the person you're building a life with, you lead with you are not the most beautiful. You are not the most intelligent.
So do you think that your part, like, that's like to me, that's an uncomfortable conversation to have. But, like, do you think that your partner should be the most attractive person that you see in the entire, like, it's almost like this thing where I'm around you and there's a celebrity around and I may know, like, just being honest, like, some people are more attractive than other people. Like, it could be a dude that looks better than me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to ask this in the right way. In your eyes, are you saying that you should visually see me looking better than everybody in the world? And you should state that. It's pretty much what you're saying.
What I am saying is the person that you are building a life with, you should find that should be attractive to you.
They should be the most.
To you, are there other people who look better? Of course.
That's like
you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But why would you say that on the internet? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's unfair to compare yourself to a celebrity. These people have thousands of dollars for plastic surgery and all of these other fucking things. So of course they look supernatural compared to a normal human being because they don't have access to all of these things. But I do think the person that you're with, you should think that they are attractive and that they are beautiful and that they are intelligent. To you, yes. We finna cut this episode short. We about to cut this episode real short and keep it real cute is what's about to happen. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right now. Okay. All right.
No. Cut the episode short.
No, we finna wrap it up. We finna wrap it up. I just think it was tacky for him to say that about his fiance, who was a beautiful woman. I don't know if she's intelligent. I'm sure she's intelligent. But for you to lead with those things, I think he might be a little insecure himself. He might not feel like he's the most handsome or he's the most intelligent.
What was the context? Was there a question asked?
No, he just was showing love to his fiance. I think it was like their anniversary or some shit. And he posted that.
I still need more context.
That's all I got for you. That's all the context I have for you. Is he posted that. Yes, he just made a post dedicated to his fiance and he said that.
How old is he?
I don't have.
You think so you think he's insecure?
Not the one that consoles itself into the false reality that their partner is the most good-looking, most intelligent, most successful person in the world.
I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but yeah, I don't feel like that needed to be said.
No, I think it was very rude. I think it was, and
the internet is dangerous.
The internet is very dangerous because why would you go out there and say that about the person that you love and you're building a life with? Like, obviously there are other people out there in the world who fucking look good. Like there's a million people in the goddamn world. But
Was that a response to something?
No, it just was a post that he dedicated to his fiance. Like if I just posted you on my Instagram, was like, I just want to show I love my man. That's what he did and led with, she ain't the most beautiful, she ain't the most intelligent. What the fuck do you mean?
I guess he was, yeah, that could have been like some insecurity from maybe what other people were saying. I don't know.
It sounds very much like he feels like he's settled for her.
Okay.
Is what it's giving. It's giving, I could have been with somebody more beautiful. I could have been with somebody more intelligent. I could have been with somebody intelligent. But I'm going to sit and be with you. I'm going to just
Did he say anything?
I'm going to let you read the post.
I saw some of it, but I would like to read the whole thing to. I'm not gonna be able to gauge, anyways, because just by the start of it, it just came off crazy. But I'm trying to give him a chance.
It doesn't get better.
I'm trying to give him a chance.
It doesn't get better. The more you read it, the more it's like, why did you have to say this? Why did you have to say this? Why would you say that?
I got you.
You were supposed to feel like the person that you're with is beautiful, they're intelligent, and they are successful. Mm-hmm. So why would you go and point out that they are not the most? You know what I'm saying? Why would you say that? Like, to me, you're the best man in the world. Mm. That's just how I see you. That's how I view you.
The best woman in the world.
Why would I go on the internet and say, well, I know there's some men out here that's better, but I show this the one I got? Why would I say that? I would just say, I have the best man, right. Or I have the most handsome man. I have the most you know what I'm saying? Like why did there need to be pointed out that you don't have these other things? It was weird to me. And if you had made a post about that, like, to me,
it's like when people give you a gift, they be like, it ain't much, but
don't say it. Just give me the damn gift. Why would you now? You trying to overcompensate.
Right, so I don't want you to get on your soapbox because I'm just saying shit.
But no, that is a perfect example because now you're trying to overcompensate for some shit, which is what I think that he was trying to do. I just thought that was pretty interesting.
Yo, you funny.
I ain't funny. You funny. We're gonna check. All right. We do have one more sin to delete, but it's kind of getting late, so we might say that for next week. This was a relatively short episode. Normally we give you an hour. Most times it's always an hour or over an hour. So this is a little short episode.
I'm going to sing to the end.
I guarantee they don't want to hear that shit. But I hope...
People will pay for this.
For that, you should pay them for listening to it, to be real. But I hope these tips have been helpful for you all. Like I said, we're still growing, we're still learning, we're still implementing these things as we go as well. So if there's another topic you want to hear about, as always, feel free to hit us up on Instagram. Feel free to, you can hit us up on Instagram at Mr24Pod. You can email us at Mr24Pod@gmail.com. If you are watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, be sure to, leave us 5 stars, leave us a rating, and also subscribe so that you will get notifications every time that we drop. It's Wednesday.
That was good. You didn't make me laugh so hard. My nose is dripping.
Your nose dripping?
Yes. You don't see it? It's coming.
Oh, Lord, we really need to go. It's Wednesday. You're halfway through the work week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Bye, y'all.